Hello pilots and welcome to Motion RC. I'm your product specialist Wesley, and today we are excited to announce that Freewing Models has the all-new 70mm Panther, as you can see here in front of me. This is a very fun jet. As you know, we have the Cougar available here in the larger format if you're looking for a full house version of this jet. But if you are somebody that maybe has a little more of a budget and wants a 70mm aircraft to kind of go in that area, this is going to be a great aircraft for you. Still has retract, still has shock absorbing gear, you know, but we lose some of the servo driven doors, that kind of stuff in this form factor. But that being said, it also makes it easier for some of our customers to get into these smaller aircraft that aren't quite as expensive. So super excited to show you this one. It's still loaded with details, and this is a pocket rocket of an airplane. You are going to have a blast with the speed out of this little bird. Well guys, let's get this thing out of the box and let's start showing you around the model. All right, pilots, now that we have our new airplane out of the box, let's go over some of the tech specs on this new aircraft. This aircraft has 8 9-gram hybrid digital servos. The motor is a 2957 2210 kV inrunner motor. It has a 70mm 12-bladed ducted fan. The ESC is an 80-amp brushless ESC with a 7-amp UBEC. And the all-up weight of this model is 1,630 grams without the battery. The suggested LiPo battery to use in this is a 6S 3500 to a 5,000 milliamp LiPo battery. All right, so let's actually get this assembly going. First thing we need to do is go on and slide the Panther out of its protective covering. Take your time doing this. Be sure not to drop your model or anything crazy. I highly recommend you check out our Ernst stands here at Motion RC. They're available now for order right there at motionrc.com. They make your assembly process so much easier, being able to turn your model up, down, left, right, whenever you're trying to put it together. So definitely pick one of these up if you don't have one. So the first thing I'm going to do is just go on and get the canopy out, and I'm going to put it on the aircraft. That way, while we're flipping it around in the stand, nothing gets damaged around the cockpit area. It'll let it set on this plastic piece. Something I personally like to do. The next thing we're going to do is start on our rudder and elevator assembly, or some people may call this the vertical and horizontal stabilizer. Let's go on and get those out of the package, and let's get them put on. On the bottom of the vertical stabilizer, you're going to see there's a hole. What you need to do is push the come get 'em wire that comes in the kit up through there until you can see it poking out up the top. Then loop your 2 servo wires in and pull those through. Let's take our vertical stabilizer, and you're going to be inserting the carbon rods that are built into the elevators into it. Now, as you take your 2 elevator shafts in, just make sure you don't have to push too hard on any of this. This part should just kind of slide in really easily and key together. Being very careful to also make sure that the 2 elevator halves seat into the vertical stabilizer. Once you have that complete, flip it over, and you're going to see that it takes 4 of our 2mm screws in from the bottom of the horizontal stabilizer to get it affixed to the vertical stabilizer. All right, now that we have the tail section of the aircraft completed, it's time to actually get that installed onto the airframe. Now, what you're going to see is this one also has the same connector that we're putting in a lot of the other models now, to where joining up your tail to your aircraft has never been easier. You can see the little multi-function control board there. It's labeled for your elevator halves and your rudder. Just plug them into the corresponding colors. Remember, white is your signal wire, or yellow is your signal wire. And that's universal across all RC aircraft whenever you're plugging them in. Just remember your signal wire is always going to be either white or yellow on aircraft. So anyway, what we're going to do is take our 3 leads, plug them in, then we're going to slot and slide in our elevator and rudder section of the tail to the top of the aircraft. Then you're going to have 2 screws that go in from either side, and then 1 screw at the front to actually get this attached onto the aircraft. It's the same size as they were in the previous step. Actually, the entire aircraft uses the same size screw, so that makes it a little bit easier for replacement parts. But once you get that installed, we'll get to the next part. All right, at this point, it's time to get our wings installed on the little Panther. Now, something really cool is this is the first in our 70mm lineup to actually have the quick disconnect wings. If you like the wings on the Cougar or the B-25, it's the same style as that, the new F-16. All these screwless assembly aircraft are gonna be coming in the future like this, just to make your lives easier. So you have the 1 connector for your multi-function controller that's gonna run your servos and your flaps, and then you just snap the wings on. Super, super easy. All right, the next step in this aircraft's process is to put our external fuel tanks that go on the outboard sections of the wings onto the Panther. Now, they are both labeled. You have a right and a left section. They're gonna actually say it right here on the bottom on these plastic skid plates, just in case you were to drag these on the runway. These are plastic on the bottom. We know that's the part that's gonna get scraped a lot on bad landings, so that's why that's plastic. But left and right in an aircraft is always distinguished as if you're sitting in the cockpit, and then you would be saying left or right side of the aircraft. So that's how you figure that out. The plastic part with the label is going to go towards the bottom. So in this case, this is the left one. It's going to go on the left-hand side of the aircraft in the pilot's position, and the right will go on the other side. And then you have 2 screws that go in from the outside to actually affix them to the aircraft. All right, this next part's super easy. Let's get our nose cone out. And this is a magnetic plastic cladded nose cone. So you're not gonna have to worry about damaging it. It does also have all the gun details underneath to go with the aircraft. And all we do is simply line it up and snap it in, just like that. Easy. All right, pilots, at this point, let's turn the aircraft over and actually put our ordnance on. You have 6 little missiles here, and these are all gonna go on with our quick connects to where you are not gonna have to worry about these falling off the aircraft. You don't have to glue them on though, so if you don't wanna fly them, you just pop them on and off. It's really simple. So at this point, the only thing left to do is add your favorite receiver to this. I'm gonna use like a Lemon 7-channel receiver. That way I can have control of the gains and the on-off switches of the gyro. You do have to take up 2 ports just for that when you use one of our Lemon RXs. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna get done now. Then we can put the gear out and check out the aircraft in its full glory. All right, pilots. So what I've done is gone on ahead and installed my receiver. You need to do the same thing at this point, no matter what brand receiver you're using with this aircraft. Some of it is going to be the same. So if you want all features of this aircraft, reverse thrust, flaps, gear, all of that, you're going to need a minimum of 7 channels. That being said, you can fly this on a 6-channel receiver as long as you're okay with not having the reverse thrust function. Now that we have it here and powered up setting on its gear, you can actually see it does have full suspension landing gear, front and back. Very nice gear. As far as grass ops go, this is still a smaller aircraft. I know some customers are going to want to know about it. The gear is strong enough to handle it, and this aircraft has plenty of lift in order to get off of grass. But it is still a 70mm, so don't think it's going to take off of unmowed, you know, not manicured grass. You're going to have something that's freshly mowed, and you'll be able to fly this airplane no problem off of grass then. For hard surface guys, you're gonna have a blast. It has that reverse thrust now to where you're gonna be able to stop, no issues. You got those quick connect wings to make this easy to get in and out to the field. Super fun airplane, guys. If you're curious about the rates and expo, they are in your manual, so just go off of that to get your dual rates set up. Usually it only gives you 2 rates in our Freewing instruction manuals. I usually make one in the middle of the 2 rates so I can switch between those. And the other little housekeeping thing is there are some stickers included in the kit that are water slide. I have a video separate from this where I did the water slide decals on the B-25. So if you're curious how to put these on, definitely go check out that how to apply water slide decals to your aircraft, and that'll help you with this section. Well guys, it's been my pleasure showing you around the aircraft. If you haven't checked out the flight videos, definitely do that. They should be up now, no problem. And I'm excited to see this one. This one really kind of reminds me T-33, those golden age aircraft, you know, F-86, that real legacy style of airplane. And I think this one's gonna be loved by many for years to come. So go out there, get yours today. And as always, whether it's air, land, or sea, you can get it right here at Motion RC. See you in the next video, guys. Bye.